On November 11th, 2024, a deputy was dispatched to a retail location regarding a months-long internal theft investigation. And one 8-year-old employee, Elizabeth, stood accused of illegally activating gift cards totaling nearly $2,500. This interaction centers on the distinction between petty theft and organized fraud, which constitutes a third-degree felony under state law.
Has been doing is since August 19th until November 5th, she has been activating gift cards without paying for them and then keeping the gift cards for herself. And that's a total of $1,724.95 of losses that she has been causing.
Okay.
Now she also said that she had taken about $300 in cash, but I don't have any evidence of that, so that's just something that she verbally also said.
Okay. What's the handwritten side?
That's just her admission. Now, I also have on the flash drive this, along with all the receipts for all of this, along with all the video for all of this. So for all of this, I have video on the flash drive, all the receipts on the flash drive.
Okay.
And this itself is also on that same flash drive.
Okay.
That if you want it, you can have it.
Please, definitely.
But this I have to keep.
She's back here.
It's locked. Elizabeth? Does this copy work? Do you have a copy of it?
How you doing? What's your name? Elizabeth. Do you have your driver's license or anything with you?
My wallet's at the register.
Okay. Well, I'm Deputy Kramer. I'm here obviously in relation to the incident that's been going on with you and your employer. So I'm going to explain something to you, okay? At this point in time, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you.
I'm getting arrested.
Hang on. Just listen to me, okay? Just listen to me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court of law. You have the right to hire a lawyer and have him present during the questioning if you wish. You can have a lawyer who will be appointed before you question. You can decide any time to stop answering questions or making statements until you have a lawyer present with you. Do you understand these rights? With these rights in mind, do you wish to answer questions?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So what's been going on?
I've been taking money to buy food and stuff for me and my little sister for a little while.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 18. I
18?
just turned 18.
Okay. You said you're taking it to buy food for your little sister and you?
I don't have nobody.
Okay, calm down. What's the home life situation like? Is it
like,
just you and your sister, or
it's my mom? She works a lot, so she's not really there. So it's basically me and my sister, but she's with my older sister right now because my mom's at work and I'm at work. So I'm getting arrested.
Okay. So you will be going to jail today.
Who's gonna pardon me out?
You'll have to make a phone call from the jail, okay?
Why am I getting arrested?
So your employer wanted to pursue charges, okay?
Y'all wanted to pursue charges? For real?
Do you know the total dollar amount of money you took?
He told me $2,000.
How much do you think you took?
Like $1,000 maybe in total.
Okay. And how were you doing this?
The first I just took cash and then I was just getting the gift card.
So you'd scan the gift card and do what?
Just put an amount in that I needed.
Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with nobody. I've never been in trouble and nothing. And I've been freaking out because I don't think they're going to get me out.
When did this start happening?
Maybe like a month or 2 months ago, maybe. But it wasn't like an everyday thing.
Okay.
It's That's when they started lowering my pay and stuff.
Okay. How many times a day would you do this?
Probably like three times with the cards. But I stopped taking cash. I just started doing the cards.
How much in cash do you think you took?
Probably like 300 in total. Can I text her?
You can make a phone call.
You think I'll get out today?
So you probably won't get out till you probably have to spend the night. And you'll get out first thing in the morning. You have to see a judge in the morning, okay?
No. I said I was gonna pay him back. I can't.
So
Is there
unfortunately,
anything I can do so you won't press charges?
Unfortunately, this is what the company wants to do.
can I have your driver's license? Do you have a vehicle here? Do you need anything else from me? I know she's doing the trespass, but you need anything from me?
No, I mean, I'll make sure I give you the flash drive there.
Okay, you can just give it to her when she comes back in for the paperwork.
Okay.
All right, Elizabeth. Do you want her to leave the apron?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have anything at the register that's your personal belongings?
No, I got it. Mom's here. Can you
Okay.
get her?
Yep, we're gonna walk out. We're gonna talk to her out there. Okay. So just grab your stuff. This way. Do you want to have your mom take your stuff? Okay.
I don't know where she is.
Do you know what she drives?
Yeah, blue car.
So, I'm going to take you up to the jail. Alright. You'll hang out in there while I write my paperwork, and then you'll be turned over to them. They're going to basically put you into the system, and then you'll see a judge in the morning.
What time in the morning?
Around 8 o'clock. And then I'll go. If you want to sign here, this just means that you're also trespassed from this location, okay? They don't want you coming back. If you do, you will be arrested, okay? Do you want me to search her real quick?
Please.
You want to put that right there. Stand up against the vehicle real quick. Do you have anything on me that's going to poke me, prick me, anything that I should be concerned of now? No?
No.
Okay.
I think this is her right here.
Amen. You guys say? She's not gonna make it better. Okay, phone's gotta go with him.
Do you want your phone to go with you?
Or do you want your
Okay. So, I'm going to give all of her stuff to you. Okay. I'll explain to you kind of what's going on. I don't know how much she explained to you. But I guess she was caught stealing from the business. I guess she was charging gift cards and pocketing the gift cards. And she's been doing it for a few months now. And I guess she also admitted to taking cash as well. So, but due to the dollar amount, it does constitute a felony. So we don't have discretion on it. She's got to go. They're persistent on pursuing charges. So if you'd like, you can talk to her.
Let me go get them and sign it. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta get me out of here.
Where you get $2,000? I ain't seen you with no money. I ain't seen you with that.
They said it was $2,000.
Good.
You gotta call Mark. You gotta call everybody. You gotta call them. Here, I'm gonna take my password off so you can get into my phone and you can call them people. Don't
Tell
give
me.
nobody my phone. Call everybody. Get me out of here. Call Auntie Anna. Call Mark. Call everybody that's in my phone.
Elizabeth, do you want this to go with Mom?
Here,
This
It's
is
just
just a
your
copy
copy.
of the trespass, okay?
take all that.
This is the evidence. There.
Thank you.
And then I'll put this in your front seat, okay?
Do you know your mom's phone number? Okay. So give it a little bit. She'll be able to give you a phone call. Once you get there, you'll be able to talk to the booking deputies, okay? They can be able to give you a little more information of the process, okay? Alright, step back.
Can you tell her to call AJ? You see her?
1204, adult female, 10
Tell her to
15.
call AJ.
AJ?
No, tell me when to call AJ.
Okay.
I'll go with it.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you need a supplement or are you good?
Before making contact, the deputy reviewed evidence provided by the employer, including a flash drive with surveillance footage and transaction receipts. Records indicate the fraudulent activity spanned from August 19th to November 5th, resulting in losses of $2,495. Identifying the specific time frame and total loss is crucial for establishing the elements of organized fraud. Upon contact, Deputy Kramer immediately issues a Miranda warning. Under the Supreme Court's ruling in Miranda v. Arizona, officers must advise suspects of their Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination before a custodial interrogation. Elizabeth's decision to waive these rights and answer questions ensures her statements are admissible as evidence in court. Elizabeth confessed to taking cash and gift cards to provide food for herself and her younger sister. While her motives were personal, the legal standard for theft does not account for financial hardship. She estimated her theft at $1,000, but forensic evidence provided by the store confirmed the loss was significantly higher. Because the stolen amount exceeded the statutory threshold for grand theft, the deputy had no discretion but to effect an arrest for a felony. Organized fraud requires a systematic, ongoing course of conduct with the intent to defraud. Despite Elizabeth's plea to pay the money back, the employer's decision to pursue charges finalized the arrest process. Deputy Kramer demonstrated high tactical professionalism by maintaining a calm demeanor while explaining the situation to Elizabeth's mother. He facilitated the transfer of Elizabeth's personal property and provided clear information regarding the booking process. This type of transparent communication is a key component of effective de-escalation in high-stress environments. Ultimately, Elizabeth was charged with organized fraud and sentenced to 2 years of probation. This case highlights how quickly routine workplace misconduct can escalate into life-altering legal consequences. Following the arrest, she was also officially trespassed from the premises, meaning any return to the location would result in additional criminal charges. Evaluating the participants, Deputy Kramer receives an A. He followed all constitutional protocols, specifically the timely issuance of Miranda rights, and maintained excellent scene control. Elizabeth receives a B-. While she was entirely compliant and did not resist, her decision to waive her right to silence directly contributed to her felony conviction. Several professional lessons can be drawn from this encounter. First, constitutional rights should be invoked immediately during police questioning to ensure a fair legal defense. Second, officers must document a clear chain of evidence, as seen with the store's flash drive, to justify felony charges. Finally, transparent communication with family members can prevent scene volatility during an arrest. This incident underscores the importance of understanding the legal thresholds for criminal activity and the weight of digital evidence in modern investigations. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching.